This time I'm going through the locker from the cockpit and to the back of the boat. This through-hull fitting is the end of the cockpit drain. And my problem is the other end of that black rubber hose is almost completely fallen off. I'm not sure if it was leaking for the previous owners, but this is about to be a serious leak and could sink my boat. I'm going to have to do something about this, and this hose clamp is severely corroded as well. I also found this rotten plywood which was used to back up the hull where the rudder attaches. The rudder of a sailboat is under tremendous stress. Tremendous forces act on it while you're sailing. So this is going to have to be replaced with something better before I can sail the boat. My first plan for the cockpit drain was to just push the black tube onto the drain fitting the way it is right now. But I decided against that because that rubber was very rotten and a leak here could sink the boat, so this is pretty serious. That hose clamp actually broke while I was trying to loosen it. So now I have to remove the rubber tube. And it's a good thing it was very stiff and was ready to crack or fail. I found this clear tubing which actually fit the through-hull fitting, but I couldn't use it the way the other tube was because it kinks like this and wouldn't make a good drain. So the new plan involves putting an elbow fitting at the drain, and there'll be another elbow fitting that goes on the through hull. So once I get the second elbow installed, then I'm going to try to have a pretty straight line with that clear pipe in between them. And my new problem is that I can't get the elbow at either end to move enough to get the clear tubing on in between them. So the new plan is to assemble that both elbows and the center tube, and I've soaked them in hot water, and that makes that clear tubing a lot more flexible, and it goes over the drain fitting and the through hull a lot easier, and it also bends easier in between to get the entire assembly to go on to the tubes that it has to match at either end. This next repair, I started by glassing some chopped strand mat fiberglass behind the hull from the inside, and its resin is hardened now, and I've cut this block of wood to take up most of the volume of my repair. This is polyester resin and a little bit of hardener, and just one brush full is being used to wet that chopped strand mat again, and the sides and everything that will be in contact with my repair. The rest of the resin is now mixed with chopped glass fibers and a thickening agent like Cavasil. And I've got a bunch of it globbed up on the back of the hole where that chopped strand mat was glassed in, and some stuck to the top. You can see it just hanging there, and that big glob that I just put on the back of my wooden block. I'm also going to paint all four sides of the wooden block with it. And when I stick it in the hole, the mixture is thick enough that the wooden block is going to stay put. And I'm going to use the rest of the mixture to fill in behind and around the sides of the wooden block. You can see when air is in the mixture, it's kind of white like it is at the bottom right now. And once you get the air pushed out of it, it goes almost completely transparent. So I'm going to finish filling in this repair and also fill in that hole up above, which is where the fuel line for the outboard went through the hull.